Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, Transformers fans everywhere, welcome back. LPS, Last Prime Speculator, here to bring you a movie review of Transformers The Last Night. But not just any movie review. We're going to do a review with Lindsey, my fiance. Meet Lindsey. Say hi, Lindsey.
Hey.
There she is. Lindsey is a non-Transformers fan. We're going to do a review for you fans out there that are debating about seeing this movie, but have heard all the negative publicity. And what better way than a non-Transformers fan, which is Lindsey right here. Lindsey, tell a little bit about yourself and your Transformers history.
All right, well, never seen the movie until I met Ryan. Didn't want to. Talking cars, not my thing. So once I met Ryan, he talked about it nonstop, so I had to. I was forced to. I still didn't really like the fourth one because I didn't know anything about it, and that was my first one I've ever seen. Then I had to go back and watch the other ones. They're all right.
So you kind of got the idea. She kind of got married. I'm sorry, we're getting married. She's marrying into this relationship with Transformers. So what we're going to do is basically, Lindsey's going to break down this movie for you fans out there, again, that are debating about seeing this movie for a non-Transformers fan.
There's some spoilers.
There are some spoilers. She is correct. This is going to be a spoiler review, non-Transformers fan. Thank you, honey. If you are a diehard Transformers fan, I'll leave the link in the comments below, as well at the end of the movie, for my review. But this is all focused for you guys out there debating about seeing the movie. So
remember not to hate on me, because I'm not an educated person on the subject here. So
they won't hate
if
on
I
you.
say something wrong, just relax.
They won't hate you, baby. I promise. So basically, she's going to break it down, and then we're going to do a couple of Q&As at the end that you guys had for Lindsey. So let's get right to it. Go ahead, baby. Take it.
All right, so movie starts off in an abandoned Chicago city, and you see these kids walking around, and the reason I like it, it's filmed in Detroit. How can I not?
Shout out to the Silver Dome.
So I liked that, and I knew that was filmed in Detroit only because of Ryan talking months and months prior. And then we go into Mark Wahlberg. He saves the day. He saves the kids from the Decepticons and the government, and yeah, Mark, yeah, that's not my favorite part. Mark was always the hero here, so yeah.
Tell her what Wahlberg you're a fan of, baby.
Donnie, 100%.
We all know Mark. He's my boy. Go on.
All right, so then we're going to go. Mark saves the day, takes the one girl back to the junkyard where all the Autobots are living. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that. And it's in the comic books, but it's cool just because that's the perfect spot for a car to hide out and not be seen. So then
we're introduced to Grimlock, which I know you know Grimlock from Age of Extinction. What do you think of Grimlock in this one, honey, in the junkyard compared to Age of Extinction?
Grimlock didn't have much of a big part here. I mean, it was cool just to see shooting fire, and then the baby little Dinobots. They were so cute. They remind me of a little puppy. They're so cute. Then, let's see, then the government and the Decepticons, are they getting them out of jail? Trying to get the...
You're talking about the negotiation part?
Yeah, so
yes.
They're trying to stop Optimus and Mark. So we get the Decepticons out of jail, and that's a cool part because you get to meet some Decepticons you've never met before, and you get to see kind of their personality and why they're in jail.
And you actually get to know who they are too, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
here's
huge.
some names. I've never heard of these people before, but I'm assuming since we met them, we're gonna see them later on in other movies.
They had personalities too, didn't they?
They did. Yeah, some were mean, some were tied up in chains because they
robber.
were so mean. Yeah. So then we get to that part, and
we start dealing with the lawyers.
Yeah, the government lets some of the Decepticons out. It's cool because it's kind of like real. You let some bad guys out, some don't. That part is cool. Then we're going to go into the chase, where we chase Mark Wahlberg and all of the Autobots because we're trying to capture them. And this is not my fan. This is a Michael Bay part where Mark is running away from all the people chasing him, and he can jump out of windows and fly, and he's Mark Wahlberg.
Not get bruised up and everything.
Yeah, he's perfectly fine.
One thing we forgot, though, baby, is when Mark rescues one thing I want to make sure she touches on, again, this is a spoiler review, was when Kate found that knight in Chicago. Okay. What did you think about that scene when you see him?
He finds this knight that no one knows what they are, and he gives them this token and says, if you take this, you'll be saved. Mark says, I don't want it, but the coin or the symbol attaches to Mark. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
Comes later on in the movie. You don't realize how important it is until later on.
She's referring to the Iacon, the Night Iacon relic, guys. Again, a non-Transformers fan review. Okay, honey, so we left off at the junkyard and with the Michael Bay part. So now let's talk about the very next scene where we finally get to see Optimus land on Cyber trying to meet Quintessa.
All right, so Optimus is flying up to Quintessa to... It's kind of how the movie ended, the last movie ended. We're starting at this point. And he meets his maker, he sees her, and starts kind of yelling at her to see why she's doing what she's doing. And then she starts saying to him that she made him to be better, she made him to be perfect.
Perfect creation.
And
what did you think of the way she was talking to him? Like the way she was talking to Quintessa was talking to Optimus. How did you take that feeling?
It wasn't motherly. It was more of like, I own you type of thing. You're my property because I created you. Wasn't nice. And then she just proves to him how powerful she is. So he gets tied up. He gets his arms, strapped down, and she kind of like hurts him and tells him that he must listen to her or else, and how it reminds him of what side he should be on, because Optimus is always with Earth, and now she's turning him to go onto her side, which is for their planet, Cybertron. For
your non-fans, basically what Lindsey's trying to say is that Quintessa is telling him, you are a Transformer, you are Cybertronian, you need to fight for your kind, not a human kind. We are aliens to them like they are to us. Very good.
And I wouldn't know any of this stuff if I wouldn't listen a little bit to Ryan. I don't think this movie would have been good if I didn't know a history. So it'd be really hard to not be a Transformers fan watching this movie.
But okay, well, we're gonna edit that out. We're gonna redo that part. All right.
Really?
Yeah, well, you can't say that yet because basically you tell that at the very end. But yeah, I like your idea and everything.
Whatever.
But very good. Other than that, so we're past the Quintessa scene. So
okay, Quintessa.
Now what's after the Quintessa scene? It become
Codman scene.
Yes. Okay. 3.
Which one are we starting off?
We were the Quintessa scene. What comes after?
Doesn't Codman save him?
I think
Codman tells
TRF realizes their location and then they chase him.
Yeah, but Codman got sent to save him.
Yep. Ready?
Okay.
So then obviously we know after the Quintessa scene, we know that basically they put a tracker on B and they find their actual hideout, honey. So take it from there.
So then Codman comes, you meet Codman, he's cool, doesn't really do much for me, but he's funny. So he saves Mark, takes Mark away over to, where is it, England?
Yeah.
Takes him to see Anthony Hopkins. And where Anthony Hopkins has this little meeting with Mark and Vivian. You meet Vivian. She's part of the Wawicki family, and this is where it gets interesting to me.
One thing I want to add, my fiance is the one who actually called in the theater about Merlin and Stanley Tucci. She said that right away. I was like, I know who that is. She's like, that is Stanley Tucci, which is going to be, again, spoiler alert, for future films. She called that in the theater, guys. So if she can catch that, you can catch that. Okay, so they meet each other. Anthony introduces both of them, honey, and tells them the history. Tell them about that part, because I know you were very into that human element part.
Yeah, so I'm more into that history scene. So you find out that Vivian is related to the Wawickis, and she's one of the last ones alive or able to help in this defense. I don't want to say alive because I'm still hoping Sam is going to come back and save the day, because I'm a Sam Wawicki fan. So we find out that she's the only one that can help save the planet from Cybertron, the Merlin...
The staff.
Staff.
Why is that, honey?
Because she's related to
because
him.
Exactly, her DNA.
Yeah, her DNA.
She's the last descendant of Merlin. So we know that that she's basically related to Merlin, right? And we know that she plays an entire purpose. Now, Anthony Hopkins explained Cade's history about being what his purpose is. Now talk about that.
Again, this is from personality.
Correct.
It has nothing to do with his DNA, I don't believe. It's all about how he's honorable and trustworthy and
a true knight.
A true knight.
Loyalty,
so that's why
honor.
he was brought in. I mean, Vivian kind of makes fun of Mark or Cade because he's just an inventor and he hasn't really invented anything. He just fixes things.
And he hits on her too. Let's not forget about that.
All right, so
then we learn about that, and he then brings them into the vault of the Round Table.
Okay, yeah.
And shows all the history, all the Cybertronian treasures, all the table. And when Vivian puts her hands on it, what happens, baby?
It moves and shakes and
electrocutes and comes alive.
Yeah, comes alive. That's good.
So then we also learn about one big part, honey. Obviously, through this whole event, which we forgot to do a little bit before, and we'll talk. They touch on this part. Who is the name that your man's been calling since day one, since this movie came out? What did Sir Edward Burton mention in this?
Unicron.
What did Quintessa mention in this?
Unicron.
Yes, we got that right, guys. There's my proof. Okay. So then they all know that basically it's about what thing, honey? What is this? What does Anthony Hopkins explain to them? What does Cogman explain to Kate Yeager? What is this time event about?
Saving Earth?
One moment.
Saving Earth.
Saving Earth.
Yeah.
On this opportunity. Okay? Basically, you see both of us together. You see a knight. You see his wizard right here. A knight is no power without a wizard. A wizard is no power without a knight. It literally takes two to defeat evil, right? So we find out basically about their origins and everything, and then Anthony Hopkins educates Mark and Vivian about what they need to do. So now, take it from there, they leave, and now they're trying to retrieve the location from Vivian's father.
Vivian's father had a secret hideout of the information she would need to someday save the world. He must have knew it was coming. So they go to her house, find it, and then they're off to the location, which is a submarine.
Tell me about the submarine. Tell me what you said to me about what you felt about that scene and what was good and what you didn't like and what didn't need.
I don't really think the submarine was necessary. I mean, yeah, they find it and then that leads them to Merlin's staff, but there's like a love scene in it where they're having dinner together and it's all cute and funny, but...
What did you quote saying, honey, in the theater? That's very what?
That's very Michael Bay, or the sex...
Bayish is what she said. She's very bayish. See, again, from a non-Transformers fan.
There's always a girl, but at least Vivian has a purpose in this movie where Megan Fox and Kate's daughter...
And the one we can never remember her name is the
British
supermodel.
One. Yeah, they never had purposes. At least this girl has a purpose.
So, there you go. See, again, obviously you guys can tell, again, this is a non-Transformers review. She's telling you about bayish events, but so far, she's explaining to you the story. She's understanding this story. So now they make it to the ship, honey. They are now in the ship that is sunken underwater, and then we finally get to witness the knights and basically what Kate and Vivian's purpose is. So let's take it from there.
They can see all of these knights against like the walls, and they're like statues. And they finally find Merlin's casket, but you open it up and it's just like bones.
Thou shall not open, I think was what the correct tone was.
There's nothing really in it, and then they kind of struggle and they get mad, but then they find it, and then Vivian...
Why'd they find it?
Did Mark find it?
Mark, you got it. Mark found it. Mark knew the way to go. He's like, this is the correct way. So, again, the wizard and the knight together are incredible. Separate, their powers are worthless. Continue, honey. Very good.
So then Vivian grabs it and holds it, and all these knights come alive, and they...
Scream what, honey? Protect this what?
I don't know.
Protect the staff. Protect the staff. Protect the staff. See, again, this is a non-Transformers fan review, so this is good. You're seeing both connections.
I don't really notice these like little details.
That's why I come in. This is what we want you guys to do. This is for you guys that are non-Transformer fan reviews. So they come alive, right?
Yep.
She grabs the wood staff, and what happens to it?
It lights up, and all the...
It transforms, and then her DNA turns on the staff. Tierra finds them, and then we see Optimus Prime fly in and tell us about
Optimus comes and wants that staff because obviously Quintessa told her to go get it. She needs that staff to save her planet, and if the Earth has it, then...
This isn't the same Optimus you're used to, honey.
No, this Optimus is mean, but we don't really see that yet because Optimus comes and wants it, and Kate is like, give it to him. He's the good guy. He's gonna help us. He's gonna save us. He's gonna save the world. Like, give it to Optimus. He's always the good guy. Can
you tell him about like that being that again? She's not a Mark Wahlberg fan. That you can tell that Mark was very connected to this character.
And I liked it because Mark didn't want to be the hero. He he knew that the right thing was to give to Optimus.
And I mean, again, from a non-Transformers fan, there was a bond between both of them. Cade trusted Optimus and was so happy to see him fly in. Like, 3 years in waiting, and finally sees his friend fly in. So, he convinces Vivian to do what, honey?
Give the staff to Optimus.
And then what does Cade realize?
That Optimus has this evil kind of feeling about him, and he's not the same Optimus.
Very good. And then what does he tell the Bumblebee? What does Bumblebee got to do?
Bumblebee's trying to get the staff back, correct? Because he realizes that he's kind of evil, or maybe under a spell. Maybe Bumblebee knows, what Quintessa's hidden secret is. So
Cade learned from the past that, if you guys don't know, that basically Anthony Hopkins knew who Bumblebee was. Bumblebee didn't know who Anthony Hopkins was, and Cade Yeager tells Bumblebee, go back to that state that you used to be. You have to take down our friend, our leader. And then the ship starts rising, and then we start witnessing the battle between Bumblebee and Optimus. And I really want you to get in depth with that, honey, and tell what you were feeling.
So hard.
Let's do your best.
This scene is totally Transformers, so this is what the fans love. This is what everyone's been waiting for. But me, I don't really know much about this scene because it's all Transformers. So you get Optimus and Bumblebee fighting over the staff, and Bee's trying to stop Optimus from flying up to see.
Completely overmatched too, isn't he?
Of course.
But he keeps coming.
But the Knights are there too.
Yes.
So the Knights are actually trying to stop Optimus also, because that's their staff.
And they are referring to Quintessa as the great deceiver. But Bumblebee, that one part when Bumblebee rips his rings, what did I do? Rings off. What did I do to you? I remember I grabbed your hand and you were just sitting there. I mean, as much as she won't admit it, it was hard for her to watch. Again, from a non-Transformers fan, you would never think in this movie of Bumblebee and Optimus fighting together. They've been together, think about it, guys, 10 years. 10 years. 10 years, and we finally witnessed this. Even she was connected to that part. From a non-Transformers fan, it was hard for her to watch. So basically, Optimus rips his wings up, Bee keeps coming, and then Optimus...
Bee gets his parts back because in this 3 years we didn't see Bee or Mark. Cade was fixing Bumblebee and kind of, right? Like, so when Bumblebee's parts would come off, he could, like, magnetically get them back. Like, Bee could... put himself back together, so when Optimus would pull his parts off, he would get them back eventually.
Again, from a non-Transformers fan, guys.
So I'm assuming Cade did that. I didn't see that happen in any other movie, and that was a cool, different part. And a Bumblebee fan, I like that. So
the battle takes place, and Optimus is about to put the kill shot because Bumblebee is overmatched. So talk about that part. So
my opinion of it is that Optimus is on top of Bee, and Bee is just he's like surrendering, but he knows he's not going to get hurt. It's like his big brother. Like, as much as you fight with your brother and your sister or your spouse, you know they're not going to hurt you. You know that you just have to talk to them and you have to remind them, like, I love you. I'm here for you. I'm always going to be on your side.
What was it like to finally hear Bee talk? I know you've always asked me that. Why doesn't Bumblebee talk? What was that like to finally
His voice came alive when he actually needed it. Like, he didn't need it until that minute, until Optimus was going to kill him.
Ah, baby, you're giving me the chills.
So Bee knew he wouldn't hurt him. He just knew it. I thought that. Ryan doesn't think that. I think that Bee just was like, I know you're not going to hurt me. I know you love me. And Optimus snaps. He's like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Why am I doing this?
Bumblebee
is right. I haven't heard you ever talk in so long.
Since Cybertron, you're right.
So Optimus snaps. It's literally like a 360.
So pretty much what she's saying, guys, is that it wasn't some treasure, it wasn't some power, it wasn't anything like that. It was actually pure love for Optimus and Bee. That connection that broke Optimus out of his evil curse from hearing Bumblebee speak. That is very important. And that, basically the word is one moment and a bond between human and Transformer. You knew at that moment the Transformers have a soul.
Yeah.
So now Optimus is out of his infection, then we see the Guardian Knights start beating up by Hero, which was very hard.
Yeah, so then the Knights still don't believe Optimus, believe him that he's changed. So they start attacking him because he disobeyed them. He broke their bond because Optimus is a Knight, and these Knights know that he just
broke the Knight's code.
Yeah,
so
he
that's
broke
what
the
she's
code.
trying to say.
So
he was willing to die too because he broke the code.
Yeah, and Optimus was okay with it. Optimus was like, "You're right. I disobeyed you. I deserve this punishment."
Megatron came in right before the Knights started beating him up, and then took the staff, by the way, too. So that part's after, which was very. What did you think about that? Why do you think they attacked the Optimus instead of going after Megatron, knowing that they had the staff? What did you think about that from a non-Transformers fan?
I don't know. Because they're more worried about their brotherhood than maybe the staff.
Maybe the staff that they took's not that important as what we think in this movie.
Maybe.
Do you think that's possible?
It could be possible.
Again, from a non-Transformers fan. Okay,
I guess I never thought about it.
Oh, but that's my point. A non-Transformers fan, there's a reason why that they are kicking the shit out of Optimus. I'm sorry, and Megatron takes off with the staff. Future movies to come. We'll speculate down the road. Okay, honey. So now we witness Cade Yeager trying to stop, and what happens?
He picks up the sword to kind of maybe like hand it to Optimus or help him.
It grew. Why did it?
Oh yeah, from that coin thing that we found from that night in the Chicago rummage. We find this, and it transforms into the sword. Excalibur. The Excalibur.
That Ryan's been waiting for.
And it helps save it proves that their brotherhood and their bond is all, from the sword, and that Mark Wahlberg, Cade, is the last knight. And
what was so crazy and was so beautiful about that? We didn't see Excalibur to that one moment. It was very similar. I don't know if you remember this, honey, but Revenge of the Fallen, when they told Sam, the Matrix leadership is not given. It's earned. And at the crucial moment, when Optimus was willing to accept his burden of death, the Excalibur grew, as in it was earned at that moment. And then at that moment, Excalibur stops the Knights, and what did they all do?
They all stopped and
rose the sword.
They
were taking their loyalty to the last knight, which is Cade Yeager. And then what did Cade Yeager decide to do? He gave up his what? He gave up his leadership. I'm sorry, guys. He basically said, without Optimus, we die. I'm the knight. This is my command. You're listening to him. You're listening to Optimus, because at the end of the day, Quintessa Cybertron's still coming.
All right, so now we're at the point where we have to save Earth, because Quintessa is going to kill the planet. It's going to kill Earth. So we have Megatron that's flying up to give her what she needs, and then we have, on the other end, we have some scientists that can see her planet. I'm assuming it's her planet, I don't know for sure. Can see her planet coming towards Earth, so they're trying to stop it scientifically. So we have
math and science, engineering, technology. So we have the human element, that's what she's talking about, versus the what?
The hero element, Optimus Prime.
Yep.
So we have we have Fergie's husband. What's his name?
Josh Duhamel.
Josh Duhamel. We got Josh Duhamel, and I'm a little disappointed in him.
Colonel Lennox.
I was too. He was fighting against Optimus in the beginning of this movie. Actually, 75% of this movie, he's fighting against Optimus, or not on his side. He's on the Decepticon side.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, wow, I never thought.
He used the Decepticons to get to Optimus, and so he's on their side.
She's right. I never thought of it like that.
So
she's
I'm a little disappointed in him.
Lawyers were involved, but you're right, honey. See, that's why we're doing this review for you guys. A non-Transformers fan. She very good. I never thought of it like that.
So he is trying to stop Optimus from saving the world, because they think science is going to stop
Science and math will win, and they did not trust Optimus's opinion.
Yeah, they didn't trust Optimus.
Earth and science and math.
So we have the scientists, people working on the side that you see a little bit of.
They were talking about that little swinging part to knock that gun off and basically knock the part off. Remember that little that dangling part or whatever is what they were trying to determine, which they ended up doing. But what happened? Nothing.
Yeah. So the scientific part of this whole thing, where the scientists are telling them to do to save the world, is not working. None of it's working.
They bailed.
So now Colonel Lennox is changing sides all of a sudden. He's like, all right, I only hope is to help Optimus.
And Cade Yeager makes a very important speech before that. I never lost hope. I believed in the great ones. Mm-hmm. Optimus Prime and the Autobots. The world lost hope. I never did. That was very important. That's true. And that's to add to her point with Lennox, is that you fought with Lennox in Nest. Everybody else betrayed him. Mm-hmm. I knew this whole time that he would return. We do not win. We die without Optimus Prime leading the Autobots.
Yep.
That's to add to her point too. Now, remember when she said something to me too when he jumped down. Like she was absolutely shocked. But then what happened? What happened? Everybody jumped down besides the two, again, the Knight and the Wizard. What happened after that? Vivian?
So they thought Optimus lost it. They didn't think he was going to win. They thought their Earth was gone. So they bailed. Pretty much everyone bailed. Even Mark and Vivian were considering bailing and like parachuting off wherever they were at.
Because Optimus was nowhere to be found. Again, to add their Bay thing, just disappears. They don't explain what happened.
It's like Megatron is the only one there and Quintessa. So
then what happens? Vivian
just gets this change of heart, and she's like, I have to. I'm the only one that can save this. I have to do it. So her and Mark...
The Autobots are all charging, willing to die for Vivian, and Vivian decides at this moment, in one moment, this isn't how our destiny is supposed to end. I'm going to trust Optimus Prime's opinion and fight with my friends, the Autobots. And
so
that was very
then, you got Vivian running to this... what is it? A sword?
We'll say running to Quintessa. We'll just call it that.
Yeah, she's trying to get that spear back, that Merlin's. And then we get Optimus and Megatron fighting because Megatron's trying to stop Vivian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Optimus kind of like pushes him out of...
What'd you think when Megatron said we were brothers once? What did you think to hear that Megatron say that, baby?
There's always a bad one and a good one, right?
It was different, though, wasn't it? Usually you would hear Optimus say that, not Megatron.
Yeah,
and of course, Optimus, boom, kicks his ass out of the ship.
He's gone. But we don't know if he's dead. He's just gone. He's I don't know, floating or falling or something. I don't know what he's doing.
Megatron always
he's
comes
gone.
back.
Yeah, that's true.
To be continued, like always.
So Vivian finally gets the staff, and
Optimus flies up and shoots Quintessa, and then she disappears.
Yeah, she's not dead either. She's somewhere else. Because nobody ever dies in these movies.
What did you think of that part, though, when Vivian and Cade decided to go against math and science? Again, to add to this point...
That was their only hope.
But Vivian was a professor. Vivian was anti this route, which for you non-Transformers fans is a big deal.
Vivian's into the science. And
hardcore into it.
She's not... The history stuff is not...
Legends don't mean anything to her. It's all about math and science. So that's a big deal.
So Vivian went against her own will of the science, and she went and saved... I mean, that was really their only hope, though.
At the end of the day, that's what's very big, though, is that it was against everything that she was against.
So she got it. She saved the Earth because the planet... What happened? Like, just kind of, like, dissolved?
Oh, well, she dissolved. It kind of dissolved. It kind of went through. You guys know what I think.
It hurt a little bit. Like, it hurt a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it hurt.
Earth got a little destroyed, but not, like...
Basically, what I think, you guys know what I think. I think this new lore that they're building, I've always, again, she could back me up on this one, speculation. Earth is going to be one side of the humans, Cybertron is one side. It literally is one planet now, the protecting of Earth. All right.
Okay.
So basically, then we hear Optimus around the team, and then he says, "I'll never betray you." But what did end up being correct?
What, that Earth is Unicron?
Oh, well, that too. No, basically that. You trust your friends and Autobots over math and science because at the end of the day, they know this. They know this part. Okay, so then at the very end, we all know, blah, blah, blah. Heroes saved, we all come back. And then we see, when Optimus, we think, kills Quintessa, we see Quintessa become a human.
Yeah.
At the very end.
This ending of
Spoiler.
All the Autobots coming together and saying, yay, Optimus saved us.
What'd you think about that when she became a human? From a female's point.
She's pretty, so watch out.
She is pretty.
She's manipulative. She's going to try to destroy... She made a comment about how she's going to try to destroy Earth, or Unicron, that she knows his secret, and she will destroy him. So since her planet couldn't live, she's going to just destroy their planet.
Yep.
She's going to win either way. She's not going to let this end.
So for you people that were saying I was wrong on that, that's from a non-Transformers fan. She did originally say she was going to use the powers of Unicron to rewake Earth, to restore Cybertron. She thinks it's manipulated. And at the very end, she did say, I'm going to use Unicron now to destroy Earth and destroy you guys. So for you guys that were saying I got that wrong, I got that right. This is from a non-Transformers fan. Okay, honey. So overall, from a non-Transformers fan, we got the whole story. What did you think of the movie? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
It was thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
It was a good movie. I I was in it this time because I knew a lot more because of Ryan. If I didn't know history or the past Transformer history, I would not have liked that movie. It was all over the place, but it was all about the comic books, and it was about previous Transformer movies. So if you had no idea, you were a newbie watching this, you would have been lost.
So Michael Bay did keep his word. He really was digging deep in the lore of Transformers in this movie.
You had to. You had to have been a Transformers fan to watch this movie, or it was pointless.
Let me ask you this though. Let's say that the Transformers weren't in on this in the part and everything. What did you overall think about the human element? Do you think of fans that would have enjoyed the human element of this movie, like somebody like you that has to go see with their fiance, husband, or whatever? The human story in this movie. Yeah, you really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
So you could recommend it for that part. You wouldn't.
Yeah, the human element was good, and history in general, was in that movie. So you could relate to it.
And one more thing we forgot to ask: what did you think of the very beginning, the King Arthur knight scene?
No, that was good. That came into play through the whole Bumblebee history, so that was like a spoiler. You're gonna find that's probably how that Bumblebee movie spinoff is gonna happen. It's gonna learn about. That's what I would assume.
There you go. You guys been asking for some speculation for the B movie. There's your first one.
That's gonna be a part of it because that was a hidden gem.
So overall, from a non-Transformers fan, they could sit through this movie and be fine. You might be a little bit confused with the lore. It's so deep, but they could sit and enjoy this movie. Yeah. So get them thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay. There you guys
go.
You're
not motion sickness from the 3D.
Nah, go. You see, if you don't see an IMAX 3D, you're not going to get the full experience. But overall, Michael Bay kept his word, right? It wasn't as bad as everybody was saying.
No, it was not a bad movie, and I don't understand how anybody who knows the history of Transformers could say that's a bad movie. That doesn't make sense.
Told you, guys. Again, from non-Transformers fan. All right, so there was your video breakdown review for my fiance, Miss LPS. By the way, show the his and her shirt. This is a testing ground, by the way, guys. But keep that in mind.
Just for me and Ryan.
We're testing now, but we gotta come in down the road. We're looking at some, so we're gonna start with some Q&As, okay?
Okay.
This is from Dread Nation. Again, your comments are gonna be shown below. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is something we're gonna start doing. I'm gonna try to get her on this. We're breaking her virginity on this. So this is.
I will not be a regular on the show.
Breakdowns. We'll get her. We'll get her. Okay, this is from Dread Nation, honey. Miss LPS, question number 1: Which is your favorite Transformer? If you don't know the name, just tell me what is your favorite Transformer?
Bumblebee. I just think he proved himself in this movie, and the part that Kate helped him get his parts back, and he was faithful to Optimus. He didn't turn his back. He's a good Autobot.
Dread Nation, this is part 2 for it. Did you enjoy this movie? And if so, if you saw all the movie, tell which is your favorite part and why. That's a great question.
Favorite part? My favorite part probably is learning about Vivian, because Vivian's a new character. We've never heard of her before. We've never heard actually about the history of Transformers before. So that brought this whole movie and all four of the past ones together.
You could relate a lot to her character because she's a skeptic, and you are too. You're a math and science person, and I'm a person that believes in heroes.
She became a believer, so that was my favorite.
That's a great question. I never really thought about that. Good job, Dread Nation. Yeah, that's great. That's exactly like us, man. You're the person in our relation that's in math and science, and Prime always believes in the heroes.
Yep.
And this time the heroes won. Most of the time math and science does win, but not when you're Prime. All right, question number 3 from Dread Nation. Hope you choose, or what does it say? What made you watch this movie and why?
What made me watch this movie? Him.
There you go.
I would never ever watch Transformers movies if it wasn't for him. I'm more of a Star Wars type of gal.
She's lying.
I hate all of these types of movies.
Just say you could take that back right now. You like Transformers way more.
Transformers more than Star Wars. I've never watched one Star Wars movie. I actually fell asleep in like any of them.
She's never fallen asleep in any of these ones. No. Even the first 4 that were that bad apparently. Good questions though, Dread Nation. Very very good. I think the third one you were trying to make sure she got me. Okay, this is from TF Orion Prime. Question, Miss LPS. What did you like about the movie from beginning to end? Which parts were your favorite, and which characters did you feel most which character did you like most in it? So basically, kind of the same question. Other than that one, other than Bumblebee, tell me about somebody you were connected to and what part you did that you enjoyed other than what we just did.
I didn't like... Who was the British accent Transformer?
You mean the French accent?
Yeah, French.
Hot Rod?
Yeah, Hot Rod.
Little lady!
Hot Rod. He was cool. I mean, he didn't really do much for me.
So other than Bumblebee, so okay, so there's the part kicking in. She loved Vivian, but she didn't like the person protecting Vivian. So
Yeah,
other than Bumblebee, what would be your second favorite character in this movie, and why?
Anthony Hopkins.
Very good. Well, okay.
Because again, it goes back to the Transformer history. He led her and educated her. He found all the hidden gems.
You enjoyed Anthony Hopkins in this movie, right?
Yeah.
I think he was one of the stars in this movie too. All right, let's see. This is what I want Mrs. LPS to answer, bro, so she knows. If we have the military and life's on the end, you have to choose between Cade, Izzy, Vivian, Lennox, Hound, or Megatron. Who would you choose?
Oh, man.
So you get to, I'll give you one. Looks like you get, yeah, you get.
We have to pick one?
You have to pick one. And he gives you more humans. He pays attention. I give him props.
Is Optimus on there?
No. Again, it's Cade, Izzy, Vivian, Lennox, Hound,
Lennox,
Optimus, or Megatron.
No, Lennox. For sure not Lennox. I'm going to have to go with Vivian.
Vivian, okay. All right. Very good.
Unless Sam wants to come back and take that. Yeah, unless Sam wants to come back and be the Wookiee.
We disagree on that one. Sam wants no part of this franchise. Mark Wahlberg, shout out to you, Mark.
It's not Sam that doesn't want it. It's... What's his name? Shia LaBeouf. It's Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, okay.
Sam would come back. You know Sam. He wants to come back. Shia LaBeouf that won't come back.
Actually, that's...
And maybe if Shia LaBeouf,
we are movie fans,
stop
guys.
Being crazy, he'll learn. He'll come back. Maybe.
We are movie fans here, by the way. That's the correct answer, honey. See, guys, you learned something, right, from a non-Transformers fan. All right, Willowfire26 says, "Hi, Lindsay. My question is that now that you've seen this movie, did you walk away with a favorite Transformer? And what particular Transformer is your favorite not in this movie?" I added that part at the end, by the way.
Not in this movie?
So, yes, not in this movie. Even ones that you see cool. All right, actually, I'm going to add in this Willowfire. Go on, fine.
The one guy that wasn't in this movie, the Transformer, that I'm kind of concerned where he is Galvatron. I mean, he's not a good guy. I'm not saying I want him back in the movie. I'm just asking where he's at.
Wow. So, damn. See, she got me.
I know he's like related to Megatron. They built him and all that stuff. But where did these Transformers go that were built? Did they all die? They're just all gone?
Willowfire, she's kind of turning the question around because it's kind of been answered, but I think you're actually cool with that answer. I'm actually very intrigued with that answer. Basically, you're saying that what the hell, how did Megatron get this really amazing form? What the hell happened to Galvatron?
Yeah.
And she's saying, like we always say, why do these Transformers just always just die, don't appear?
Where the hell do they go, and then they come back 5 movies later?
Damn, Willowfire, I think you're okay with that question. It was kind of the last 3 and everything, but I think you're totally fine with that answer. I'm actually impressed with that answer, honey. Okay. All right. Super Pixel Warrior 99 says, "For your fiance, what was her favorite and least part of the movie?"
All right. Well, my favorite was Vivian, obviously. My least
Vivian
favorite,
in what part? Let's go Vivian in what part?
When they're searching her room or her dad's office to try to find the hidden. I mean, the whole part before that. Also, you find out why Vivian's important. So all of that, her Wiki history is my favorite.
You can relate a lot to Vivian. I guess I didn't realize till we really did this breakdown how much you and Vivian.
My
have so
least favorite part.
That's a good one too. I'd love to hear this. Least favorite. Oh. It's gonna be my favorite part. You watch.
Well, I don't like the submarine dinner that Vivian and Cade had, and then they fall in love. Surprise, surprise. They kiss at the end.
She kisses him. She kisses the last night.
They kiss at the end of the movie. I mean, it's not.
It's Michael Bay-ish.
You could have predicted it happening. Of course, she's the only good-looking woman in the movie, and Cade's obviously Mark Wahlberg. So,
can we say this? Other than Transformers, we do enjoy Michael Bay movies. We watch his movies. I mean, the military one.
I'm not saying it. I mean, that's just part of every movie. There's always a love scene in any movie. I feel like
Bay's got to put his Bay-ish, but we are Michael Bay fans in here. When Michael Bay has a movie out, even if it's not Transformers, we watch them because we know that the directing and action packed is good. And actually, I think we're in the impression so far. There's been a story in this one for the first time. All right, so this is from Sonny Lopez. Oh, this is for both of us. LPS and Miss LPS. This is a 3-part question. Okay, we'll start with number 1. On your way to the movies, Miss LPS, to watch TF5, you said you were excited about your Karma popcorn. Did they have it?
No. Ryan takes me to this movie theater by our house, and it's perfect. It has reclining chairs, and it has caramel cheddar popcorn, and then for the IMAX, they don't have IMAX.
IMAX 3D. Sonny, that's
so
a great question,
we had to go to
man.
another movie theater, and it was it not the worst popcorn you've ever had?
I
think it was like 5 days old.
It was terrible.
It was horrible. We didn't even eat the bag, like half of the bag.
And that bitch was slow as hell too, man. They had plenty of time to make fresh popcorn. I was pissed about that too.
It was horrible.
But
I made them take me out to dinner.
We also reserved seats too. We didn't have to, but I'm cool with it. I don't want anyone in that damn theater, you know. Of course, she complimented. Yeah, the popcorn was terrible. So, great question. I was hoping we were going to get the end. Honey, put the emoji in here. All right, so part 2. If you've seen all of the movies, which one is your favorite and why? This is for both. Let's let you go first, honey. All of 5 of them. Which one's your favorite? Be honest.
Okay, well, the last one had really no point. I mean, you learn about Cade, but you had his daughter and you had random guy.
She's referring to Age of Extinction, number 4.
So that one, no. I love Samuel Wicki. I just love his character. I love how he and Bumblebee's bond was. Boy finds car tries to be transformer. Yes, and their bond is like. So the first one, or yeah. Revenge of the Fallen was the one where the Matrix, where we see the fall. The third one was Dark of the Moon. They fight in the moon, and Sentinel comes back. And first one, 1 or 3.
1 or 3. All right, 1 or 3. All right, so I'm gonna answer that, and I swore I wouldn't answer any of these ones, but Sonny, you know what, guys? This is a breakdown from a non-Transformers fan. This probably overall was my favorite movie. My favorite 2 movies are the ones that pretty much everyone hates, but that, again, I am a diehard Transformer fan. Everybody hates Revenge of the Fallen. That is one of my favorites because what number is that? That would be number 2. Oh. Number 2, where we find out about the Fallen, and that's when we introduce the Matrix of Leadership. It's probably a toss-up between those 2 because, again, I am a diehard fan. And the first one, Optimus, her favorite one, right? Optimus got owned by Megatron, which Megatron deserves a lot better. I thought he was better in this movie, but he got owned. The second one, Prime came back rageful, ruthless, no mercy. And at the end, I know a lot of the older G1 fans will look at it. I love that stuff. I love the ruthlessness of Prime. But at the end of the day, there's a time to be ruthless, and there's a time to be a leader. At the end of the day, we're big Game of Thrones fans, which comes up very soon. And what is Khaleesi's rule? You follow, you have democracy, you betray democracy, you get one shot, you do it again, and what happens? You get beheaded, correct? I'm totally fine with politics like that. And at the end of the day, you always trust Optimus. And so, good question. Now let's do the third one. What improvements do you think the movie can touch on upon going forward in the franchise? Be honest. Well, I she's gonna say more humans, probably.
Well, yeah, obviously. I think they need to stick with these characters. You need to stick with Vivian. You can't get rid of Vivian. They usually get rid of the girl. I mean, we don't know who the 1 and 3 was, and Cade's daughter's gone. We need Vivian to stay in this franchise.
I think we're both cool with that, with Cade's daughter being out of the movie, though. But
we need Vivian to stay.
You're saying that basically you would like them to keep this connection and build this seed to make their tree. They want to keep Vivian.
And Colonel Lennox can go because.
I'm agree with you, honey. I mean, I think that was, and I think that's one of the favorite because you're a fan.
He could stay though because they're trying to save Earth and probably in the next one.
We also need to add this factor, and me and the missus watched the live stream of that one in London, and I think that really left a sour taste in almost both of our mouths. We were actually very, very disappointed in that because when we found out,
Josh Duhamel had no idea about his character.
And he kept, and
he didn't know. He just said, "I just do whatever Michael Bay tells me to." He didn't have like a history or a, feeling about his character.
Yeah, and it was, I think that's, we were both disappointed in that because I think we were both looking forward to Lennox being back. I know you were, and actually I was too because of the connection. The movie, that's really good, honey. If you guys haven't seen the live stream, it's on their Facebook. Yeah, basically, and then you kind of learned his personality, and he looked like it was more of insulting this, man. It just, you could tell that Michael Bay and Mark Wahlberg were more into this than he was, and that's what's so crazy is Michael Bay takes all this heat, but Michael Bay was really into this now. Yep. And then
I'll be sad to see Michael Bay go. I feel like this franchise is a Michael Bay franchise, and I think he needs to stick it out.
Yeah, you think people are too hard on him, right?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. That was actually going to be my answer. Okay, so Sonny, what I think they need to make improvements. What they need to make improvements on is, to add to her point of the last one, that these people just die off without any explanation. I think
the Autobots and Decepticons,
everything.
Everybody just dies.
Human. Well, we know why Megan Fox left because she referred to Steven Spielberg as, quote, excuse my French, a Nazi. And so Steven Spielberg fired her. At the end of the day, Steven pays the check. But these Autobots and Decepticons just disappear with no trace, no evidence, no sound remote. I can't stand that. The one thing that I did not like is that a lot of stuff was cut out. There were, in this movie, there was a lot of deleted scenes and parts, like the My Maker, I Do. When I first saw that, I instantly called My Sweetheart Can Vouch for Me. That's the Harold the Unicron. It's happening. It's right there. Unicron, Harold the Unicron. And then
Did you start crying?
Did I cry in the movie? You can tell them. Did I cry in that movie, honey? Multiple times. But again, I'm very connected to this character. That was probably one of the parts I did not like, is how, I'm going to agree with her, that they literally just delete stuff without any trace, and it will jump from one scene to another, back to the one scene. It can be very confusing. I wish they do a little bit better at that. But at the end of the day, man,
that's the audience's problem. They need to know more about the history.
Yep, and that's why you subscribe to this channel, because we do TF education, do all that. All right, so bonus question from Sonny. Man, Sonny, you got some good questions. Actually, this is a good one. We're not including Bumblebee. Who is your favorite Transformer out of all these 5 movies? Let's not do Bumblebee. All 5. I love how you got the detail, too, man. All 5. All 5. Other than Bumblebee, let's go Optimus.
You want me to say Optimus?
No, I said other than Optimus. She can't remember. Mirage. Do you like the Mirage in Transformers 3? The one that did the...
I like the little Squeaks guy.
There you go. Okay.
Is his name Squeaks?
Yeah,
he's cute.
Why'd you like Squeaks?
Well, he actually played a big role in the last one, right?
The very end, yeah.
Yeah, the very end. Izzy told him, like, go.
Izzy was a mechanic as well as Cade, and gave him, I believe, it wasn't Megatron's blaster, was it?
It was a Megatron's arm.
Maybe.
I don't know. It was never really clear. It was never really clarified.
Another speculation.
It's a speculation there. So he had an arm that could blow things up, and so he had to go and help him.
And everybody looks at the special needs bot, and the special needs bot. You never judge a book by its cover, guys.
Just a bunch of little parts put together.
You never judge a book by its cover. At the end of the day, Squeaks is the one who destroyed that to lead the Autobots with the charge and everything. And then Hot Rod, come on, it's a lady. I'm sorry, I thought that part was funny.
So Squeaks was cool.
That was a good answer, honey. But she does like Mirage. We were actually considering naming our Pitbull, we're big Pitbull lovers, by the way, Mirage, because she enjoyed it from the Dark of the Moon. He was that red one with these spikes. I liked him too. All right, Tane Arlarius, shout out to you, brother. Asked, any interest in TF, and what was your favorite scene? Now that after watching, I think what he's saying now is after this movie, are you more interested in Transformers than you were before? And then what was your favorite scene?
No, I'm not really more interested in Transformers.
All right.
I get enough of him talking. Like, he sees a trailer on TV and it's like, oh my god, what do you think of this? I have to listen to it for 20 minutes and it just turns me off about Transformers, like makes me not want to like it because he's so over the top.
So you need to, remember what you said, you want to thank this community for what?
Yeah,
subscribing to his channel.
Subscribing and liking his stuff so he doesn't stop this, because then I don't have to listen to Transformers as much. And I get to actually have a normal life and not talk about Transformers.
And I think a big thing that I think Lindsey would also like to thank you is that Lindsey was very against it for good reason for me doing this channel, because she didn't want me to be disappointed, because she knows I put my heart into everything.
Yes.
I deliver everything. At the end of the day, it's always about you guys, and she knows that how competitive this market is. And now it's made you a believer. This community's made you a believer, right?
Well, it made you like happier and in a better mood because you had, some people to talk Transformers with.
Because a lot of people want to talk Transformers. I think after
you'd get mad at me if I didn't want to talk Transformers.
I know what to talk to about it.
God.
And I think also this community has also made you realize how much there are a lot of Transformers fans.
Yes, there are.
So,
way more than I ever thought.
Good question. John 4. Oh, John 4 is our buddy. Make sure to subscribe to his channel. Hey, John. Yeah. Make sure to subscribe to his channel, guys. He's a friend of ours. Like you heard Lindsey say, this is just for John 4. Question right here. To Lindsey, do you think you were going to like The Last Night? Or did you think you were going into it thinking it was a crap movie? Ha ha ha. Also, how would you rate this movie out of 10?
Okay.
Good question,
I didn't
Johnny.
want to like this movie.
Again, shout out to you, John.
I did not want to like this movie because Ryan loves it so much that I just am competitive and I wanted to prove him wrong. I wanted to prove how stupid this movie was going to be and how it made no sense, but it actually made a lot of sense. So, yes, it was very good.
How would you rate the movie out of 10? You don't have to answer that because you know what? From a non-Transformers fan,
I'll answer.
You want to, John? Okay. This is the thing. Make sure to subscribe to his channel. We know John.
Honestly, I'm gonna give this movie
good job, John.
a 7.5, almost an 8. I really liked this movie.
There you go.
I know I said that I liked the 1 and 3, but I liked it because of Sam Witwicky. I love Sam Witwicky. So
you enjoyed this movie?
This could be coming up 1 or 2.
So basically,
I really
she's
like this movie.
there's like so remember she just said she's competitive. There's a competitiveness kicking in right there.
I didn't want to like it because Ryan liked it so much.
But that just so basically again, you see her side. She's a Sam fan. So basically, overall, you really enjoyed this movie.
But Sam was in this movie. His history,
his picture.
Yeah, his picture was.
And his bloodline, apparently,
yeah,
right?
Bloodline.
I forgot. We forgot to talk about the Wiccans, but that made so much sense. We freaked the fuck out because she knows what I'm a history buff, and I'm always into all this. I love knowledging, and I think she even knew when we heard the word Wiccans. We both looked at each other like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Yes!"
It was excited because it was all going to relate. Like Sam was done in 3. He was never spoke of in 4, so we were missing a big part of that, and
everything was answered.
Up. Yeah.
Everything was answered. Wiccan. That made so much sense, man. Okay, Matthew D. Lennox says, will there be a sequel to The Last Night after the Bumblebee movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yes, they have to.
Why is that?
It was left off.
Cliffhanger.
You got Quintessa sitting there on Earth saying that
human.
I know secrets and I'll help you destroy.
Saying what?
I know secrets.
What would you refer to the
About
Earth as?
Unicron.
Oh, do we call that?
There has to be. You can't leave that hanging. That'd be like leaving Optimus floating in space. From the last one. Yeah, there will definitely be, might not be a sequel, but it will answer all the questions.
Again, honey, did your future husband call Unicron from day one? Day one.
Yeah, I guess so.
And Unicron is the what? What does he always say? The what? The end? The end what?
I don't know.
The end game. and I called it from day one, and I wanted her to vouch for again. This is a non-Transformers fan review. Now we're at our next Q&A. This is from Mario Ramirez, sweetheart. Are you going to wow, he's talking about our future. Look, this is about a future if we go down that road with children. Are you going to show or feature your children in the Transformers fan, like the comics, cartoons? If so, maybe one day he will be a big Transformers fan like you. I think he's asking. I know Mario, first language is Spanish. I think he's asking, are you okay with
I don't really think our children have a choice.
Just like Lindsey, if they're created by the maker in the night. I feel bad
for her if we have a girl because she will know all about Transformers.
At the end of the day, she doesn't live through. Yeah, basically like Lindsey, she is married into this Transformers. We got the maker over here, we got the knight over here. Yeah, of course. But that's a great question. Yeah. So basically, last Prime Speculator, if it's a male, you got no choice. And plus, another reason we made to buy more toys, more comics. All right, honey. David Hinkle says, are you looking forward to the Bumblebee movie?
Yeah, I want them to go more in depth about Bumblebee's history and what he was with the Knights and how he helped the Knights. And I hope they do that, and if they don't, I'll be a little disappointed. There's
rumors of the Bumblebee spinoff either being the military part, which they explained in the Anthony Hopkins, or going of the original G180s theme. What would you prefer?
I don't know anything about the comics or the 80s theme. So
you were intrigued by the World War II scene with the Nazis? I hope they do that too.
I don't think they will.
They probably won't.
Bumblebee's more of like a kid character.
Oh, it's by the way, just so you guys don't know, did your man also call about the continents being all together as one and Unicron separated it? Did he not call that? Yep. 6 points, 6 events?
That's like a history, geographic.
Is your man a history buff?
That, yeah.
Yep, and he called that one too.
Yep. Gosh, he's so good.
See, I this, like I said, was right up my alley. Again, this is a review from a non-Transformers fan, guys. I guess it's kind of turned out to like a vlog. We should start doing live streams on the road together, honey. Guys, send some more questions and stuff. Get her going. All right, this is from TFO Prime, who did my shout out to you. Make sure to subscribe to his Instagram channel. He did my my outro and the new intro that you guys are doing. He does an amazing job. Actually, he's the one that sent me that birthday one of Optimus Prime that I showed you and more. Thank you so much for that. He says, I have a question, but you both need to answer. Okay. What was your reaction when Quintessa said Earth is referred to the name as Unicron?
Why?
I wanted to make sure that this is in full. What was your reaction when Earth was forwarded as Unicron? Not, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
You want to know what mine was? I grabbed my fiance and said, I knew it. Now we've got Gary Williams. Gary Williams just has released a new book. He's part of our family. He's the Riddler on this. His new book comes out next month. I'm going to leave the link in the description. Family, make sure to get his book. He does a great job. And his question is, did you hate the hot rod accent? Babe, that's directed for you. Did you hate the hot rod accent?
I hate the hot rod. Okay, does he have an accent in like the comic books, or not that you would know, but or the 80s movies or whatever?
Nope, not at all.
This is just brand new?
That's brand new.
I don't like it.
She didn't like it. Good question, man. I really enjoyed the question.
Unless he had it from day one, then I would appreciate it. But since it's like new, then no.
Good question, man. Actually, I really enjoyed that one. Make sure to check out his book, guys. I'm going to leave the link in the description. Gary, I got you, man. Drift Lover. She says, okay question for Miss LPS. What is your favorite Transformer? And don't let Mr. LPS influence your decision. We already answered that, but I think that Drift Lover's a female. She's one of the first people to ever subscribe to this channel. So, all right, next question. The Riddler, shout out to you. Make sure to get Gary's book. Gary the Riddler is the same person. His question is, sweetheart, is how is it like being engaged to a Transformers addict? Great question, Riddler. Hell yeah. What's it like that, baby? I want to know that one.
I didn't fall in love with him until after I knew he was a Transformer addict, so I was kind of stuck.
So you calling me Quintessa, the manipulator?
Yeah, he manipulated me. I didn't know all these evil secrets.
The great deceiver?
Ugh. I mean, it's fine now that he has the YouTube channel, because I don't have to listen to it, but believe me, we got in fights because I wouldn't listen to him about Transformers. He would get mad at me if I wouldn't listen to his theories and stuff, or have any questions for him.
Dead serious.
It was horrible.
It was horrible. So, maybe you should give a thank you to the community.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for subscribing to this channel.
Taking him away.
Make sure to keep subscribing, right, honey? Yeah. All right, Wes Snip. Honey, you know Wes. Shout out to you, Wes.
Hey, Wes.
This is from Wes and Amber.
Okay.
So we know which we are the West and Nip, and we're close here. We all know each other. But they want to know, okay, Lindsey, from a non-Transformers fan, what do you think about the story as a whole? Was it easy for you to follow? Too complicated for someone not knowing about Transformers lore? Great question.
I feel like not that I ever wanted to be educated on Transformers, but I'm kind of in the middle. I know enough where I can get by, but I don't know everything in depth. So the movie to me was easy to follow because I knew bits and pieces. So you have to know a little bit of history for it to follow, or else I think you'd be lost.
What about Wes? I'm going to add to your question. If they've seen these movies, if they've seen all five, what's the fifth one? They would. Do you think they'd have at least a semi bit of an idea?
Yeah,
that's pretty mature.
You had to have watched all of them. But I mean, maybe it's just because I didn't know in depth about the first one and the second and the third. You have to know about Unicron. You have to know about Cybertron. You have to know about
Primus,
the Wikis.
Optimus.
You have to know. Yeah. You have to know a little bit to get by. If you didn't, you'd be lost.
I'm going to ask a question to add on to your question, Wes. Would you say that now, after watching this movie, this is actually the first time you're more intrigued about Transformers a little bit? Maybe just a hair?
Maybe a little.
Oh, we got a success. From a review from a non-Transformers fan. Well, guys, thank you so much for sending your questions. Lindsey, give a big thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Now, guys, again, this was from a review from a non-Transformers fan, okay? If you guys want to see from a real Transformers fan, my breakdown, I'll make sure to put it at the ending. But this is for the people that have been debating about seeing the movie, that seen this negative publicity from a very hard skeptic, expecting to not like this movie and having to hear about this shit every single day. And overall, she gave it what'd you say, an 8.5 or an 8?
A 7.5.
7.5 out of 10 from a somebody not expecting to enjoy it, right? So, guys, Lindsey, make sure to say bye right now, everybody.
Bye, guys.
If you're not familiar with this channel, we dig deep in the lore of Transformers. To my subscribers, I love you so much. Make sure to hit that like button, leave your comments in the video. I would love to start getting back in the live stream. I want to get Lindsey more involved in this stuff randomly, just do random appearances. I think she's enjoyed it as well, but it all determines on you guys. At the end of the day, if you haven't seen this movie, you're not a diehard, this is coming from a non-Transformers fan right here. She also recommends for you to go see it. And I'm sure most of the people that are intrigued by this movie have seen the last one, so you're going to be okay. This was a spoiler review. Again, to my subscribers, I love you so much. Again, hit that subscribe button, like button, LPS, last Prime Speculator. Honey, let's do a peace. Peace.